Hey, YouTubers, this is David coming at you from the Mopar Garage. Hey, I've been hearing, and you've seen them too, tons of videos about how bad dealers are, how problematic dealers can be, how dishonest dealers can be. There's a lot of hate out there for new car dealers, and believe you me, it's a lot of us deserve. There's no doubt about that. I think we've all been taken advantage of at one time or another by dealers. New car dealers, used car dealers, and I've certainly had my share of those experiences. But I have had some good experiences too, and I wanted to share with you what I believe to be three of the best ways, or maybe three really good secrets to getting the best deals on a new car. And these could apply to used cars as well, probably. But I think these are important to share. I think these are things that maybe sometimes people don't always know, for one reason or another. Probably depends on how many cars you buy or how many new cars you bought. Some people trade cars very frequently, and then other people probably only buy one or two new cars in a lifetime. Everyone's a little bit different, but there are some techniques that you can use to help yourself get a better new car deal. Secret number one is to search nationally. Don't limit yourself to just your local dealers within your city or even within your state. Be willing to look out of state for a new car. Different regions of the country have different economics going on, and sometimes you can find better deals elsewhere. I live in the Atlanta area, which I think I saw a survey sometime back that said it was the absolute worst place to buy a car, and I can believe that. And I did find a very good deal out of state on my last purchase, and I've got some relatives that also do the same thing and also get some very good deals. Now, I wouldn't suggest going, coast to coast, right? If you're on the East Coast, buying one in California, or on the West Coast, or vice versa, that might be a little bit extreme. The shipping charges might be pretty high, or the logistics might get in the way, or, it's probably not going to be as big of a benefit. But if you widen your region, just look, at your surrounding states, and be willing to look, like if you're on the East Coast, look everywhere east of the Mississippi. And if you're on the West Coast, look, for everything west of the Mississippi, and just see what you might find. Look at dealer inventories online and see if you can find that car that fits the description of what you want. And you may get a better deal. I certainly have. So it's one option to pursue. Expand your search and be willing to look nationally. And by the way, don't fall into the trap of, you go to your local dealer and your local dealer says, well, we can get anything you want. If you find it, in another state somewhere, another dealer, we can bring it in. No, don't do that. You'll be screwed. Okay. You want to buy directly from the dealer that has the car now. Okay. So be sure to do that. So expand your search nationally. That's secret number one. Secret number two is to build a relationship with a local dealer. Now, this takes some time, but it does work. And I've done it before. Whenever I buy a Ford, there's a specific dealer I go to in my local area. I bought my first Mustang from them almost 30 years ago, and then I bought another Mustang from them 4 years ago. So, and I was treated better. I got an overall better deal. I didn't have to deal with the BS, all that crap. I managed to cut through that. So, obviously in order for that to work, you have to make more than one purchase. Make 2 or 3 purchases over a period of time at least. Try and stick to one salesperson, and build a relationship with that salesperson and the sales team there. Now, a couple things to keep in mind there. Obviously, car salesmen, there's high turnover, right? So, but there's usually always 2 or 3 salespeople that have been there for a very long time. Those are the people that you want to talk to, okay? When you go into a dealership, and maybe it's your first time buying a car there, and you intend in your mind that you're going to build that long-term relationship, because you're probably going to come back to that dealership in 2, 3, 4, 5 years and buy another car. Find a salesperson that's been there for a long time. Find a senior salesperson. Insist on speaking to a senior salesperson who's been there for a while, okay? Don't let the first person who walks up to you be the person that works your deal, okay? You need to go in and select who you want to talk to. And sometimes you might want to make a phone call ahead of time and, talk to someone there and say, hey, who's your senior salesperson here? I want to talk to someone who's been here for a while. Look at the awards on their desk, or something like that. Usually they have some kind of stuff on their desk, some kind of paraphernalia that indicates they've been there for a while, right? So do that. Find a senior salesperson that you can feel fairly confident that's going to be there the next time you want to buy a car. And that person also is going to have that same kind of mindset. They're going to have that mindset of, hey, I'm looking to build long-term, relationships with customers. I want you to call me back when you're ready to buy again. And they probably have a long list of clientele that does that. And these are the kind of salespeople that have that mentality. The junior salespeople who've only been there for a short time, they're looking for the quick fix. They're looking for the quick sale. They're going to try and squeeze you for as much money as they can, because in their minds, they're not going to see you again. Okay, so do that. Find a senior salesperson, and maybe pick a brand that you think that you like, that you're probably going to come back and buy again, and pick a dealer that's relatively local. You can be choosy, right, depending on your area, but find one that's fairly close, because you want to be able to go back there and do your service and everything. But if you build that relationship with a dealer and a specific salesperson, you will get better results the next time you go in there. They won't give you as much of the BS. They won't, try and do so much of the upselling for all these add-ons, and they'll cut to the chase much quicker. Instead of spending, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in the dealership making a deal, you'll be in and out in a couple hours. Okay. So this takes time, but it does work. Find a dealer, find a salesperson, find a brand that you like, and build a relationship with them. Okay? That's secret number 2. You'll get better discounts that way. And more honesty. Of course, it won't be 100% honest. They're car salesmen, okay? But you'll trust me, you will get much better results. And then, so what is secret number 3? Secret number 3 is purchasing a distressed model. Now, what do I mean by that? And I'm talking about new cars here. But a distressed, and I shouldn't say distressed model, maybe an obsoleted model, a model that's on its way out. Okay, if it's the last year for a specific model car, a lot of times they offer steep discounts on those vehicles, and you'll get a better deal on that than you will on anything else in the lot, and you will get a fantastic deal on it. Now, it's going to be an outdated model, but it's still a new car, and you'll get a fantastic deal. I've done that a few times. I bought a 2004 Infiniti i35 back in 2004, which was the last model year for that car. Got a steep discount. I bought a Jaguar S-Type back in 2008. That was the last model year for the S-Type. Got a steep discount there. We're talking, $10, $15, sometimes $20,000 off sticker. Okay, it's not unheard of using that technique. So, as long as you're not stuck on having, the latest model, and you just want a really nice new car and you want to get the best deal on it possible, look for an outdated model. Look for a model that is being phased out, that it's in its final year, and you'll get a better deal than anybody else got in previous years, and you'll get a fantastic deal on a brand new car. So those are my 3 secrets, okay, to getting better deals on new cars. And some of those tricks will also apply to used vehicles as well. So try them out. If you have any ideas of your own, post them on my channel, post them on this in the comment section of this video. Let's have a discussion. I'd like to hear about your ideas as well and your experiences too. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one. Thank you.